Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, another episode of Caffeine and Green with your man, Connor Cardenas. Before we get into it today, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of my homies over at Steel Mill Coffee. If it wasn't for Steel Mill, we wouldn't have a place to do the podcast every single week. So thank you to everybody over there. And of course, I'm talking about my homegirl, Anna, my homeboys, Giles, Little C, Riley, and of course, my man, Shay Cooper. That's right. Thank you to everybody over there. And guys, if you're ever in Oceanside, California, cruise on down, go in, grab a cup of coffee. You won't be disappointed. And just say what up because they'll be so psyched to see you. And also, if you haven't done it already, head over to www.caffeineandgreenroasting.com today, and you can get that Issa blend, which is dark, bold, and chocolatey, and it's the OG. You can also get the Victory Lap coffee, which is inspired by my homegirl, Leof Clockley. It's amazing. It's a single origin Tanzania pea berry. It has a little bit of a tropical flavor, cacao, and I think a little bit of citrus. I can't remember, but it's super good. And also, guys, lastly, if you haven't already, we are having a pop-up called Caffeine and Burgers this Friday night, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Side Yard Barbecue Hot Mess in the Barrio Logan. Head on over to caffeineandgreenroasting.com today. You can get your pre-sale tickets, and it would just be super awesome to know how many of you guys are coming. So there's a regular standard ticket, which is $35, and then there's a VIP ticket, which is $50. That gets you Marco's Burger. It gets you pour over a cold brew from me, myself, and you get the coffee cocktail. It's going to be really fun, and you guys should not miss out, I should say. Caffeineandgreenroasting.com. My guest today is a unique individual. He is super rad. He's super funny, and he's just the life of the party sometimes, I have to say. His name, of course, is Beda Yang. He hails from the Bay Area, so he's another one of my Bay brothers, but he is a different kind of guest in the sense where he's passionate about sales. I've never met an individual like him, and to hear him talk about sales and closing deals and making massive amounts of money sometimes to a normal person, which would be, kind of just like, wow, that's a lot of money. Him, it's like, it's pennies. But he's a boss. He kills it. He's not cocky. He's confident. And I loved having him on because it was super rad to hear that perspective and hear somebody talk so passionately about sales and what he does in big tech, especially. Also, we have Maji, Ray Ray, or Raul Lopez for everybody else who doesn't know Ray Ray. But yeah, he didn't say too much, but he was on the show. So without further ado, my homies, Beda Yang, Raul Lopez. This is your time to shine, homies. Let's go. Caffeine and green. It's your boy Connor. What's good? Good. Caffeine and green. And we're live. Beda Yang. Ray.
What up?
Yeah, buddy.
Cheers. Salute, boys.
Oh, wait. That was me.
There we
There
go.
you go. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Fuck yeah.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to, I guess that was, nosotros casa. You can't say su casa, right?
Mi casa, su casa.
Well, it's like,
There you go.
it's
Su
our,
casa
I'm trying to
es
say like
mi
our
casa.
home because
Yeah.
it's where me and Ray Ray live.
Just, bienvenue, man.
There we go.
Here we are.
Bienvenidos.
Perks of being homeless,
Welcome.
baby. That's
Home
Beta talking.
is just wherever you are.
Dude, you make it sound so bad, but really it's like, come on now. You're living a gypsy life, and that's fine. You're not homeless, but I mean, you're a baller. You're a G. You make money moves, dude. You're like Cardi B.
I'm a baller ass homeless man. Correct.
Well, let's be, before we get into it, I mean,
We'll slow
everybody,
down.
I
Yeah.
feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves. We need to actually introduce you, Beta. So this is actually where the part of the podcast where we're going to get a little serious. This is not going to be all shits and gigs, okay? This is Beda Yang. You're on Caffeine and Green, sir. There's a reason you're on Caffeine and Green, and that's because you hustle. I see your Instagram. You be in Hawaii. You just decided, hey, I'm just not going to go back to the Bay Area. I'm going to go to Hawaii and live there for a while. And then, sometimes maybe go to Mexico, chill out there, still be a boss. How do you do it, dude? What do you do? Who are you?
Okay, so my name is Beta. I'm from the Bay Area. Grew up out there. Went to school in San Diego. That's where I met Raul.
Wait, real quick. What town in the Bay Area did you grow up in?
I grew up in San Jose.
Oh,
But
shit.
I do rep Oakland, so don't worry.
But
about
you went to
that.
high school in Fremont, though.
No. Still San Jose. I went to Bellarmine. It's all boys
No,
Jesuit
no.
school.
I was like, no, he did not go to public school.
I was like, you went to. Oh, I didn't. I feel like I thought you went to Mission for some reason. Ah, damn it. Never mind. Totally
It's
ruined.
okay.
We're still Bay Area. Solo. Sorry.
It is still the Bay, yeah. And then I met Raul in college. I went to UC San Diego out here. Did the 5-year program on one major, no minors, no big deal. The major, in case you guys are wondering, is religious studies. It's practically the toughest major they have at San Diego. So,
Religious studies for real?
yeah.
Damn. And what? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
No, honestly, it was not even. It was barely a major.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe they hand out diplomas for that. But it is what it is. So yeah, I met Raul as soon as I got kicked out of the dorms because I like to smoke weed too much. And then so I had to hop on Craigslist for the first time and try to find a place to live. And that's when I met Raul's mom off of Craigslist because she was renting out his room in Claremont. And I liked it a lot. So I signed up, gave her a deposit, and later that night I met Raul for the first time, and we've been best friends ever since.
Yep.
Sorry, is that offensive I say that to you? That we're best friends?
Dude, we're best friends too. It's cool, man.
I have a small circle, man. I can have a couple of you guys.
Yeah, bro. You don't understand how much I fuck with this fool all day, son. There's like, we just have a different relationship. That's all it is.
I saw you guys in the morning flipping each other off, man. It was brotherly for sure. It was incredible.
Hey, man, it's a good way to start the day. High energy.
Dude.
Blood is flowing.
You haven't even heard the real shit talk start yet. Like
Okay.
the fingers is one thing. It's wait till you hear like what we yell at each other from our rooms.
Out of control, man.
Dude,
The stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth sometimes.
dude, whatever you say, just as nasty or whatever. I mean, like just nasty shit. You say some weird shit sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I try to catalog as much of that as I can on the Instagram story. So make sure to follow RL_perspective. Keep up with the latest and greatest shenanigans.
Dude, he'll straight up like walk first thing in the morning and he'll just like knock on the window and then just put his finger at the window.
Hey, but I got a nice track playing, most likely some Nipsey Hussle, But yeah, no, you gotta have fun with it though.
Fucking ridiculous.
But yeah.
But yeah, sorry. So best friends. Yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, how much further do you want me to go?
I want to hear it all.
hear it all. So
No, we
So
need
you-
to know
you-
the origins, man, of your
I
hustle.
want it's about your hustle, bro. Like so, like you when I first met you, you had a suit on and you were working at Cutco. That's the first time I met you.
so
I
the
don't know if
beginning.
it was a suit.
It was a suit. I shit you not. He was wearing a suit because he had just got off of work. It was like a gray suit with like a white shirt and a black tie.
Yeah, I did that for a little bit, for a lot of it. So the hustle began as soon as I graduated from high school. My buddy, today actually, so my buddy's name's Russell. He actually randomly handed me a flyer to go sell knives in the Bay Area. And I didn't know what it was. So I went in for an interview and then ended up that summer selling knives. Today you hear about how Cutco is a scam. It really wasn't, actually. I did it for about 5, almost 6 years, all throughout college. And yeah, you go to people's houses, you show them cooking knives, and you sell knives to them. So
You were a door-to-door salesman, essentially.
sort of. I mean, I would ask your Mrs. Jones for referrals to her friends to go sell knives to her friends. So I wasn't knocking on doors,
Oh, okay.
but I was making a lot of phone calls to a lot of people to try to go and sell some knives. So that was the beginning of the hustle. And right off the bat, I remember coming out of my very, very first appointment, I sold some shears, some scissors, to my neighbor. And it was just like the best feeling ever. Like I loved it because I convinced somebody to spend money with me in exchange for a product that she probably likes, hopefully. And I was hooked on that entire concept. So, I think in school I used to be not very motivated. I knew I was like decently smart, but I never really wanted to do school. But then all of a sudden I started working, and then you can apply the talent and the effort and the potential and the skills onto a craft where in exchange for performance, you get money back, which was incredible to me. And that's how I knew at that moment, right then and there, that I was going to do sales for the rest of my life. And then I was able to major in a trivial ass major like religious studies, not really give a fuck. So that's where it started.
Damn. That's amazing. And so you were successful at that.
So I did that for 5 years, paid my way through. I actually went out to Palm Springs 2 of the summers and opened up my own office and recruited my own sales guys out there and did really well. Yeah, throughout all of college, I sold a lot of knives. I think I ended by selling my career sales at $750,000 worth of cutlery, if you can imagine that.
Boss.
Yeah, so, but I mean, most importantly, I got out debt-free with a good amount of cash saved up. And then my mom didn't have to, like, at that point, that was the last of 4. So at that point, after the first year, I realized I can actually do this, you know, like long, or at least throughout the duration of college, and which allowed my mom to not have to pay for my college, which was huge for her because it was the last of 4. So at that point, she just retired, you know, and not have to work anymore. So after Cutco, you're like, okay, well, how many knives can I really sell before this like life of a Cutco salesperson becomes relatively like unfulfilling? So stepped into corporate like most other folks. At first I wanted to sell med devices because that was kind of the sexy thing to sell at that time. And I just remember going to an interview with Stryker, which is a big med device company. And the first round was cool. It was chill. You know, we went in, talked about my experience, like what I did in college, selling a lot of knives, all that good stuff. Second round, he's like, oh yeah, go ahead and shadow one of my reps. So we went into the OR and I saw a full-on knee replacement. It was an ortho surgeon replacing a knee, and the guy was selling him the replacement knee. So I was like, yo, this is a bit intense because I really don't think I want to go through this every day where I have to watch a woman get her knee replaced. And the dude was like instructing the surgeon as to what degree of a cut and how many centimeters you should cut into the bone for this knee replacement. I'm like, man, that's a lot of liability. You know, that's a lot of risk. That's a lot of pressure on me. So I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. Cutthroat sales, not really my thing. The guy seemed really stressed. I'm like, okay, maybe med devices isn't the calling for me. So long story
That is
short.
so hectic. I can't like, dude, as you're describing this, I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, in the OR, I was the same way. I was like, oh my God, they're replacing this woman's knee in front of me.
This is an interview?
This is the second round of an interview.
Yeah.
This is really how they disqualify me from the process. It's like, you know what? We're just going to have him leave himself on his own terms, you know, just watch a knee replacement. That's how we get rid of most of the folks anyways. So anyway, landed in the Bay Area, back in the Bay Area, worked for LinkedIn as my first job out of college. So I entered in as kind of what they call a sales development rep, which is kind of like your entry level sales rep. And my job was to bang the phones and set up appointments for real sales reps, what we call account executives. So those folks, they take my appointments, they go on to calls with customers, and they sell the actual software. So I'm like lead gen. I'm essentially, you know, producing leads and appointments for the folks that I worked for, which were the account execs, what we call full cycle sales reps. This is where you're supposed to ramp up on kind of the fundamentals of sales, how to make phone calls, how to deal with rejection, how to handle objections, you know, things of that nature, and really vet out to see if sales was your calling, because there's a lot of churn in that role. A lot of people leave not wanting to ever do sales and understanding that about themselves at that point, which is good, which is fine. But for me, I already knew that this is what I want to do, 1 and 2. I already had the, you know, fundamental skill sets to do well here because I made a lot of calls selling knives. Didn't care about being rejected at all. So graduated into an AE within about 4 months. I think at that point it was the record in LinkedIn for the fastest promotion from SDR to an AE. And then that's when life started, honestly. Started making some better money selling software full cycle to customers.
Wow. So you leave LinkedIn, you are back in the Bay, and is this around the time, like what, this was like 2015? Was this before that?
This is 2012, 2013.
Okay. So yeah. And then how long did you stay there? And because you moved on since, yes.
Yeah, certainly. So that's kind of the game in the tech world. It's highly incestuous. There's a lot of churn. People hop around a lot. Something actually notable happened at LinkedIn. So somehow they messed up pay for like the entire company. And they, for some reason, didn't like pay people properly. So one day, all of us got checks in the mail. Anywhere from, I don't know, $5,000 of a cash bonus to like $50,000 with a contract that says, hey, by the way, don't sue us for, you know, messing up your paychecks or something like that. So I got a mail in the check randomly. I wasn't expecting it. I think for about like 13 grand, right? And this was in 2012 or 13. And I signed the contract that says I'm not going to sue them because obviously I'm not going to sue them. This is a lot of work, and I actually really don't care. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this 13 grand and do something productive with it, hopefully. So that later that day, actually that weekend, me and my girlfriend at the time, we went out to Oakland and started looking at houses. And at that point, I mean, I'm not sure how much you guys keep up with the real estate market out in the Bay Area, but it's a little bit hectic. It's pretty crazy.
Astronomical.
Yeah. So looked at just a random condo that we saw next to the lake by Lake Merritt, and put an offer on it later that night. And that was the first property I ever walked ever. And then that was the first property I bought. And that's what kind of pushed me into the world of real estate, which is a big part of what I do today.
And then you stop right there. Like, keep going, sir.
Okay,
I want to hear. So then now you're in the real estate game, and so,
Yeah.
but you're also still a salesperson, or
I
a sales account exec, or like,
Yeah.
You're
So
a boss.
Not quite. No. So
All
not
synonymous.
not even close. I'm certainly not a boss. So at that point, we're doing very low level sales. And what that means is you do high transactions, high volume. You sell a lot of deals to very small companies. So the idea is that sales cycle is very quick and it's very transactional. You just kind of, push these deals out. They're not strategic at all. Very, very tactical if you catch my drift. So very low level of sales. But, the game is to simply kind of climb the ladder, right? So you sell bigger deals to bigger customers. The sales cycles get longer, more complex, etc. And LinkedIn, it was a great company, but at that point we're selling recruiting software, right? So if your company needed to go find talent, I would sell them access to people's data effectively. So we're selling into HR, into recruiting. It wasn't the sexiest sale by any means. So from there I went to a company called New Relic, and New Relic sold a very technical product, which was what developers use to monitor their applications, to make sure that apps are nice and healthy, right? Still doing transactional sales, high volume, small customers. And these are obviously the folks that get paid the least, right? If you're, the most junior level of being an AE. But did really, really well there. And I watched the company go public, and that was the first tech exit that I experienced. They were at Series D already. So honestly, we didn't make out with much. I probably made out with, 30 grand after the exit. But it was exciting to see that is the world that we play in out there in the Bay Area in tech, where you can join a startup, you can watch it grow, you can watch it go public and IPO, and all of a sudden you own part of that company, turn that into money. Rinse and repeat a couple of times. You don't necessarily need a home run anytime. If you get a couple of base hits under your belt, you're not doing so bad. So that's the game that we play out there is joining startups that we believe in, seeing it grow through the effort and through the work that you put forth for that company, and watch them exit. So that was the first exit I experienced. After that, I went to a company called Xamarin, which is also a technical product. It was a development platform for mobile. A year and a half later, they got bought by Microsoft, second exit. So this one is a lot easier because you don't have to fuck with the public markets at all. So they just cash you out, essentially, give you a whole bunch of Microsoft stock, and now you're an employee of Microsoft, which is okay, but honestly, it was not that compelling. We didn't do much. I wasn't on a quota anymore, so the role ended up not being a sales role. And all I want to do is I want to sell software. Right. I want to convince somebody or a company to buy software from me in exchange for money and get a sliver of that money. That was the role that I wanted, but Microsoft did not give us that role. So a lot of us ended up leaving. From there, I moved on to the next startup. And this was a big one. They still haven't exited yet, but I joined really early. Now, keep in mind in the tech world, the earlier you join the company, the more equity you get, the more of the company you own, right? You're starting at the ground up, but also the higher amounts of risk you're dealing with. Who knows if the market wants to buy that product? They may or may not. Who knows if the company is run properly? Who knows? Maybe at employee number 200, the company just stops operating in an efficient way, and all of a sudden the company goes to shit. So you're actually taking a lot of risk going around, working for startups, because the majority of startups don't make it. They aren't successful, and they don't exit, right? So how are you going to place a bet with your time and your effort, your blood, sweat, and tear for a particular startup in hopes that it exits. So Kong was an early bet as a second sales guy. The first guy, unfortunately, got fired right before I joined. He's the guy that recruited me. So for a while, I was the only sales guy there. And this is where I really started seeing my career grow in an upward fashion, selling really big deals to very big customers, and starting to actually make some real big boy money. So that was kind of the start of this, I would say, the second half of my career, and where I'm currently at today, which is, I worked 3 years at Kong, watched the company grow from, I was employee number 20 to over 200 some odd employees. Are now at, still around that range, but just raised another round for 100 million. By the way, like if I'm talking about stuff that is irrelevant, you let me know.
Dude, no, I want to fucking hear this. I love hearing what you're talking about because it's something that's never on the show.
Yeah.
You're talking about sales in a way that like I was going to ask you, how are you going to be passionate about sales? But it's like, if you just keep letting you talk, it's like the proof is in the pudding, right? Like the way you talk about making these big boy money and like seeing these companies grow in your blood, sweat, and tears. It's like, bro, it's the way I talk about coffee or like hip hop or I don't know, skateboarding, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's fucking cool. I'm
Yeah,
into it.
sure.
You're selling it to me, bro. I'm like,
Okay.
shit, I love it.
I'm having issues trying to breathe and talk at the same time. You take that for granted most of the time. I don't know what it is right now.
I'm doing fine over
I mean,
here.
I'm chill. I mean, you're not even talking.
Okay, bro.
All right,
Hey, I'm
all right.
listening though.
I need a beer. Does anybody need a beer? Keep talking though. I'm down.
Okay.
So Kong, grew over.
Oh yeah. So this was quite the experience. I mean, obviously, starting early with the company, there's no process, right? There's barely a product. So we're going around trying to build an airplane as we fly it effectively is kind of the way they talk about it. But you take part in building out what the sales process is, what the sales motion is, what the value proposition is, all these aspects around running a sales cycle, not just for yourself, but make it repeatable for all the other sales reps that you hire down the line. And that's how you scale a business, right? You go to market with your product, ideally get some sales, and then start scaling out horizontally across the org with more reps.
Okay, wait. So explain this to me. Like, okay, I'm a small business owner right now. I need to scale. Like, I need to scale out, right? So break it down.
I don't know, man. Consulting fees,
Oh,
right? I don't know.
So
you got a freebie?
So yeah, absolutely. So first of all, we're talking about very different worlds here.
I know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but certainly happy to talk about your business and how we can help you. 100%.
How we can help you?
Yeah. How we can
Who the
help
hell
you.
are you with, Beta?
Yeah. Illuminati, bro.
Dude.
Just take a quick percentage.
Shadows in the background.
Dude, stop.
No. So I mean, we're talking a different game, right? A different
I was just
ball
kidding.
game
Talk about your
altogether.
game.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So the more you sell, right, the more busy you get servicing your own customers, within a territory, the more traction you get across the product. So hire more people. And that's how you start building a company. The more you sell, the more you hire, the more you reinvest in your product, in your company, in your people, hire more people, build more features, sell more features, get your average deal size bigger and bigger, get your customers to use more and pay you more. That's pretty much the game that we play in SaaS sales or software as a service sales or any software sales within tech. And that's how you effectively watch your company grow. So I mentioned they raised a round, and what that means is, when these tech companies go out with the product, they need money to float the company. They need to pay their employees. Their employees build the product even more. They have to hire marketing people. They have to spend money on marketing. They have to spend money on just a lot of hiring and just operating the company day to day. And you usually can't do that with your own money. And typically with especially tech companies, and you hear about this on the news, none of them are profitable. And what that means is if I go out and sell $10 million of software, I'm going to take that $10 million and I'm actually going to spend 20 million of it and continue to invest in the profit into the company, invest it right back, right? So they need injections of cash. And you look at any sort of tech company out there that's big right now, this is exactly how it came to be, the same model, right? So you go to what we call venture capitalists and you raise rounds in exchange for a portion of your company. So Kong would say, okay, listen, and I'll throw out the names. Andreessen, we need money, right? Why do you need money? I need money to hire a shit ton of salespeople so we can accelerate the growth of our sales. I'm going to hire a shit ton of engineers so we can build a very, very compelling product, continue to build, right? Okay, here, take this money and go do good with it. And in exchange, we want, 5, 10, 15% of your company. And now the VCs are investing their money into your vision as a company. Now, they won't see that money for a very long time because what Kong's going to do with that money is spend it all, first of all, grow the company. And they're going to come back and be like, yo, Andreessen, we're seeing really good traction. So that 20 mils you gave us, can you make it 100 this time so I can continue to grow the company? So now Andreessen's in for fucking 100. I don't know. By the way, these aren't even real numbers. I just know Andreessen's one of the investors in Kong, one of the larger ones. But more recently now, they've raised $100 million, right? And with that, they're going to go out and spend it on more humans, more investment in the product, more marketing, and go take on the big boys of the world, right? Go take on some of the other big tech companies that have competing products to Kong. That's the name of the game. So at a certain point, Kong's be like, you know what? We're ready. We're cranking enough annual revenue, to really take this public, and they're going to go IPO. And at that point, the equity that I've accrued over the 3 years I worked for them is finally worth some money. And that's the bet we're making, and that's the game that we play in tech. So that was the last job that I held. Excuse me. And I left Kong on interesting terms. I hired a specific VP of sales. And we didn't really agree, I guess. And he felt that for some reason I didn't know how to sell software, even though I sold a ton of software for Kong for the past 3 years right before he got there. And so the guy tried to demote me, and I was not a fan of that.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, you were down here.
I'm always just kind of around. I guess I don't remember.
Dude, I hella remember this now. You were right out front, and you told me right out here. It was like around this time, like nighttime at least. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
this motherfucker.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck this guy. Yeah. I'm like, yo, look at my.
yeah, for real.
Look at the track record. I mean, the data shows otherwise. This is exactly what I've been doing for this fucking company for the past 3 years. You come in hot and tell me that you're gonna demote me. So I'm like, no, that's not flying with me. So I quit. It was a bit vengeful and a bit catty on my part, but I pretty much knocked on the big tech company's door, the one that has the competing product, and I went to work for them. So now I sell against Kong. And by the way, no one gives a fuck. It's not like I'm breaking Kong's heart by any means, even though that they did break mine. It's very it's very incestuous, as I said. And at the end of the day, what you got to understand about tech, and let's just call it corporate in general, or even capitalism for that matter, is that you got to just look out for yourself, and you don't owe any company anything, right? Companies can fire you on a whim, right? If you're not the best fit for that particular role, actually they can fire you for a lot more reasons than just that. They can fire you for, honestly, in California, where the fuck they want to fire you for?
Yeah.
At will.
True work. Yeah, true.
So why is it that, and this is the same argument that you hear about, NBA owners versus players, players demanding trades and not re-signing. Same idea. It's like this double standard, right? Where the company is like, oh yeah, I don't give a fuck about you as an employee, but as soon as you make a decision that's not good for the company, people frown on you. No, like no one cares, right? So at the end of the day, if this is what's right for me, and it was, then I'm going to make the move. And all of my friends and relationships I've created in Kong throughout the 3 years that I was working with them, they appreciate that. And they're happy for me because they care about me as a human. They don't care about this capitalistic, machine that we're feeding into. Anyways, so that's where I'm at now. I am at a big tech company selling software, very specific technical software for them. And just, continuing to grind and continuing to sell really big deals. At this point, I'm pretty much at the highest level of sales, selling the biggest deals to likely a lot of the logos that you guys know and and interact with on a daily basis. Logos is, companies, large companies. So the likelihood is that, if you're using any sort of apps on your phone, there's a high percentage of them where those apps kind of funnel through my software on the back end, some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long-winded way of telling you where I'm at now.
But that's like kind of your day job. That's to really support your other interests, right?
Yeah.
You also like to indulge in the finer food. Every time I hang out with you, bro, we're literally eating feasts. Like I swear, when we went to Mexico, when we went down to Ensenada, when we stopped in the fucking where did we go? Like right when we crossed the border.
We went to Puerto Nuevo.
Puerto Nuevo, and then we got the $20
my guy. If you feel like that's a feast, you wait,
bro. I mean, no, that was just the first night, bro. We've eaten more since then.
Yeah,
I mean, like
absolutely.
we ate our way
Beta
through
will
Ensenada.
feast alone.
What? Oh, I've seen it.
It's crazy.
You literally will go to like a fine dining restaurant and order like 2 lamb shanks. Yeah, I'll take this one and I'll take the risotto. No, you got a lamb shank and you got a fucking risotto and like some other bullshit. And he's sitting there. He's like, one point he's all, I think my eyes were too big. And then he like all of a sudden he like, nah. And then he just keeps eating it. And then he was like, oh, I'm too full.
I don't think I ate lunch that day.
Excuses.
That was like the
Italian
the
restaurant.
first time we'd gone out since COVID. Like
Yeah.
they were like, everything was opening back up for the first time.
Yeah, what restaurant was that?
That was good.
It was on Morena.
Yeah.
That Italian spot on Morena.
Yeah.
Oh, with Matty G?
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the newly engaged couple when we saw them.
They're married now.
Oh, they got married.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shout out to
Oh.
Matt Wang.
That's what's poppin'.
Yeah.
They were
Thanks
cool,
for the
man.
invite.
That was fucking tight.
Yeah. No, listen. So here's the thing, and we can talk about this as well because it boils. It kind of goes into this idea of the hustle, right? So this is just we're on the kind of the surface of what I do as a day job, but there's a lot more than just that. There is decisions on how you're going to live your life. There's considerations around sacrifice I make in pursuit of wealth, and there are considerations around trying to enjoy the process and the journey along the way. It's about striking a balance. So I'll take a step back. So my life, I live incredibly frugally. If you know anything about me, I don't spend money on myself. For example, I own a condo. Still own the same condo from in Oakland that I bought, and I live where I used to as of yesterday. I live a block away in a spot that I rent because the rent is cheaper than the mortgage plus the HOA on the other spot. I'd rather rent it out. After my highest W-2 year, I needed a car, so I bought a Honda Accord 2007, baby, aka the 2007.
That's what you're riding around right now?
No, I sold it. So now I'm not only homeless, but I'm carless.
But you're making moves, son.
I am certainly making moves. No,
moves.
and I'll get to that. So my point is, I reduce my monthlies very, very aggressively so I can save a shit ton of money every month. And this is really for pursuit of something more, which is freedom. I think when I first started selling shit, when I first started selling knives, I realized that it gave me, the reason why I liked money so much, it gave me freedom. In the context of the knives and college, it was more about freedom away from my mom. If she wasn't paying for my tuition and my housing, in theory, she had nothing to say, right? She couldn't make me do anything or live life according to her standards or check in on me. And I appreciate that freedom so much to the point where I was like, you know what? Even if it's going to be a little bit tough, we're going to make this work and we're going to sell knives so that I don't have to kind of go back to her. Freedom in another sense is that in college, we live pretty cool ass lifestyles, for 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. Like, we were going around buying shit, living, eating, traveling. We're doing a lot of shit as well. And that's another type of freedom that I really, really love is I want to be able to do what I want with whom I want, whenever I want. And that is a type of freedom that I enjoy that you can exchange money for. And that's why I like making money to maintain that type of a freedom type lifestyle. Now, the next stage after all this said and done of freedom is honestly where you don't have to work anymore. Because right now, if I want money to go do shit or buy shit or eat shit, I still got to go and sell a software deal or show up to work so I can collect a paycheck. And that to me is like, yeah, how sustainable is that long term? You know, holding a quota for over 10 years, bro, like it is tiring. Like I'm Asian. Yeah. I'm not aging well. I got white hairs all over the place. Let me tell you. No, it's true.
What's wrong with having some white hairs, bro?
Let me tell you. No, that's true, man.
You still look young.
Dude,
you look fucking good. I was just telling you yesterday, I'm like, God damn, Beda. I was like, bro, you're thinning out. But like, you're like thick. And you were like, what does thick mean?
I'm skinny thick, boo. No.
Nah, saying.
No, listen, but it is stressful. My point is like selling software on a quarterly basis, on a quarterly quota or annual quota. It is very stressful. Every single quarter, we live our lives one quarter at a time. Every quarter, it ramps up all the way until the end, where it's high stress, high stakes. We're trying to close out everything before the end of the quarter. And then the next fucking day when the new quarter starts, it all starts over again. So 10 years of this stress is a lot, you know? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, do I really want to do this indefinitely? Right? At a certain point, you get burnt out. And the next step of this journey for me is establishing financial freedom, where effectively I don't have to work anymore and my investment properties will float me for the rest of my life. Now, granted, when you align so much of your life with building something, with, you know, making money or doing well in your career and, you know, this grind, this hustle, this pursuit of something more, it becomes a part of your identity and it is the purpose of your life more than anything else, right? Like I mentioned, I've made a lot of sacrifices throughout this process, and I've worked really, really hard for it. So, you know, at a certain point, if you get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm not going to work anymore, what the fuck are you going to do? You know, what am I going to do at that point? What is the purpose of life at that point? So retirement for me is less about what we're going to do. And at this point, it's really just a milestone. You know, it's like knowing that at that point in my life, if I didn't want to work anymore, I don't have to. And will I take time off? Surely. Will I travel? Surely. But you still have to put your time and your energy and your effort and your passion into something at that point. But the key word there is passion, right?
That's what's popping.
That's what freedom allows you to do. Maybe I want to become, you know, your fucking, you know, Jedi coffee roaster at that point. I want to team up with you and do everything coffee. Maybe that's going to be my passion after retirement. Who knows? But again, that's true freedom. That's true, you know, mobility to do whatever you want, live wherever you want, you know, eat whatever you want. And at that point, you can spend your time and your effort and your passion with something that you actually love doing. Not to say I don't love my job or love sales, but I don't want to be selling software as a requirement for sustenance. I want to be selling software in pursuit of ultimate financial freedom. And that's kind of where I'm at with all that.
Wow. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty impressed by that. But then at the same time, you're very healthy. You take that passion that you have and like work out. You take care of yourself. You play volleyball.
I do.
Quite a bit.
I play a lot of volleyball, beach volleyball. I've been playing for over 20 years. You know, you guys, what's that book where it's like Maxwell Glad something? Where it's like if you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you're going to become
mastering a craft.
Yeah, you're going to master craft. So I'm sure I've spent 10,000 hours playing volleyball in my life, and I'm just really not that good at this point. The more I play, the worse I get. I mean, I'm 32 years old, man. My bones are a bit creaky at this point.
Quit playing.
No, I'm not even joking, man. I used to be able to jump and hit the ball.
We put the hours in too. Don't think about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of wear and tear on your body.
I haven't mastered it.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't mastered it, but we're older than you and like still going,
not
bro.
Much older. You've only got a few years on it.
No, I mean like a couple years is a long time. I mean, if you're saying you're achy and like, nah, son, you got 20 years in that body, killing it, no problem.
But I'm shot out.
Yeah.
I'm already shot out at 33.
Well, so the
Done.
Results will speak for themselves. So why is it that I lose more games today than I did 3 years ago? That's the question.
You're just rebulding right now, Beda. That's all it is.
They're just better players.
Yeah. They're getting better. They're feeding these kids
too, you know.
Corn-fed kids out here.
For real though.
Yeah.
You're the only dude I've ever met that literally everywhere you go, doesn't matter what part of the world, what part of the country, you find a fucking volleyball court.
I do, yeah.
And
I've played volleyball literally all around the world with
pickup
the
games,
local communities. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just got to go in hot. Be like, hey guys, listen, I know you guys don't know me. I know we barely speak the same language, but guys, there's a new sheriff in town, baby.
Do you say it like that?
Wait, when you don't know the language though, how do you get that across? Like, do you just point at yourself?
Yeah, let's play some games.
Like,
you ready to lose?
One.
Do you throw the ball up and like
No,
point to
I mean,
yourself
yeah,
and shit?
I mean-
Like-
Or do you have the
Sir-
translation app? Where
No,
you speak
yeah.
into
No,
it?
we figure out, and I say like, yeah, no, I play games, like I'm decent. Yeah, we can pull out the translation app sometimes.
Yeah,
So,
you have to, right?
Like, look, I'll give you a good game.
Yeah.
Spit a big game, and all of a sudden you get your ass kicked. And you're like, all right, fine, that's cool. I mean, you prove your point, so I'll just leave now, you guys. It's nice knowing you guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you also, at the same time, you're just like, you're a very interesting individual in the sense where you will just go. It doesn't matter what the fuck you're going to go to the Bay Area. Okay, I'm going to go to the Bay Area. I'm going to live in Hawaii for a couple months. Okay, I'm going to do that. And then you'll be like, Ray, let's go to Mexico. And then you guys will stay a week in Mexico. And then it's like, then you come here, and then we go to Mexico. We drive down.
And we're going back to Mexico at the end of the month.
Dude, at the end of the month. But you're still traveling. But, dude, I mean, can we just talk about when we went to Mexico?
Yeah.
Like, we go into the first spot. The house is still hella dirty. There's like a
Yeah.
when we
perfect
got to the
footprint.
Airbnb, that was tough.
The perfect footprint on the couch.
This is a great trip though,
Dude,
It
it
was
was
pretty
so
funny.
legit.
It was pretty funny.
the ending story is the best. Come
It
on.
is. Are you gonna tell it, Raul?
I'll tell it.
Wait,
You're
can
gonna
I
tell
tell
the whole
it?
thing or what? Wait,
Wait,
I
but it's
mean,
because
you
this,
wanna-
the important part. You tell it. You
No,
tell it.
I think you should really. I think you should really talk about the experience of when we arrived to the Airbnb because you were very, very upset.
Dude, you were super late, and I
You-
just grabbed a beer, and I was like, "Fuck it." I don't.
You were so bummed and stressed because
I have
you
high
had to-
expectations.
Yeah, but more importantly, you
everybody.
you had to deal
Hey,
with it. 'cause you
the
booked
fucking
it.
Airbnb person was responding pretty fast, though. I will
Yeah.
say that.
I mean, the amount I've traveled, I've had plenty of issues with Airbnbs, and they just kind of get annoying after a while. But it's fine. It is what it is. You work through it. It's part of traveling. There's times when you're traveling, you're just like, oh, I want to go home. Like, this is not fun anymore. But that's part of traveling as well. Not to say that portion was, but any sort of stress kind of feeds into that, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So real quick, just fast forward a little bit. We have some fun in Mexico. We eat some food. We drink some drinks. We walk around. That's great. Talk about the border crossing, because that is, to
Dude,
me, what
that
is
shit.
defining.
Okay.
No, that's what made the trip.
Yeah,
that shit
that's
was
what
fun.
I'd have to say
And
too.
real quick, I just got to say.
No, wait, we
it-
did
what-
skate the bowl. We skated the bowl. That was super fun.
That was cool.
Near La Bufadora.
Yeah.
I just need to say that this story encapsulates Raul's essence as a human.
This is not true.
No, no. Honestly, no. It
this
was
is a
because
one-off, bro.
because no, not in a bad way. In a
I'm
good
not
way.
saying it's in a bad way.
In a good way. No. Okay,
Wait,
so I just
what?
want to preface that because
Okay.
I was very impressed by the end
Well,
of it.
okay, yeah.
Okay,
so,
go.
So this is essentially what happened.
Talk about the bull first.
Wait, talk about
tell
why
Beda
we're in
how-
this situation.
Wait.
Okay, so
Started how we left
all
La
right,
Bufadora skating.
So
the thing.
long story short, on the final day that we spent in Sonata, we decided to drive up to La Bufadora so I could show them the little spout and we could walk to the market, and we did that. And that was fantastic.
It was very crowded, by the way.
On the way up, though,
No COVID
there's
friendly.
this drained pool that we saw, and we decided to pull over near this little shack that was actually a gas station. Was it a gas station or just a liquor?
No, it was a liquor store.
It's just like a liquor store, and we grabbed a couple beers.
No, Beta was
Okay.
like, should we get some beers?
Beta
I
was the
like,
hype man.
what?
Okay, so we walk in. We're gonna go skate the spot. We decide to ask the guy hey, can we go over there? He's like, it's cool. Beta's like, shit. Do we need to get some beers for the sesh? Good hype man. Thank
Super
you.
good hype, man. Hyped.
So we grab the beers. We walk over, and basically we have this completely empty pool. Is what it looked like.
Yeah, exactly. What
that's
it was.
That's what it was.
Essentially what it was. So we
And Ray was ripping.
we're getting down.
Ripping and tearing, baby.
Immediately started ripping.
We didn't have enough time.
Dude, it's true. It's true.
But anyway, we hit that bowl. It was a good old time. We got kicked out. Unfortunate. Apparently, it's a spot that people know of in the skate world. If you've been down south,
Yeah, it's actually pretty famous.
is
for
what I
it.
found out
Yeah,
later
okay.
on. But yeah, long story short, now we're heading back to the border. So we're a little far south. We get to the border. We've got about, according to
the map. Yep.
Yeah, according to the map, we've got an
2
hour and a
hours.
half,
2
hours.
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And honestly, to that, this is Beta. To that, I was cringing. I was like, ugh, we got to wait 2.5 hours for this.
But we cross
Hopefully
all
it'll
the
be
time,
faster.
so we know. Like anybody who crosses the border between TJ and SD knows.
Except for Beta. Beta did not know.
It's not a terrible. 2 hours is kind of the
It's
norm.
pretty standard.
Yeah, 2 hours.
During peak hours, especially.
Cut it
right?
down to
so
an hour and a half. Yeah.
we're in the car. We're coming through the new new entryway of the border, which I've never driven across because I usually walk back and forth. But anyway, long story short, we get to the bridge. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see the border from here. It says it's a 2 hour wait. I have a half a tank of gas. I think we know where the story is.
Wait,
headed.
wait,
No, you
no,
did
wait,
not have
you
a half
totally
tank
skipped
of
over the other part. How we stopped at not 1, 2 gas stations on the way to the thing, but
That
we got
wasn't a
water,
concern of
we
mine.
got drinks,
No,
and
no,
then
no,
we
no.
also went to the bathroom.
No. Okay, pause for a couple of reasons. One, were you really at half a tank in the beginning of that? Because I don't
Yeah.
really
Dude,
believe
we
that.
sat
I was
there
at a
for
half
8
a-
hours.
Yeah.
Wait, that was the punchline of the story. Relax.
No, but they already know.
Oh, they
No,
know?
just calm down.
Okay. Hold on. So you're at half a tank.
We had a half a tank.
Okay. It wasn't a consideration, but you did think about it. And you chose not to because
Because I wasn't worried about it. I thought it was going to be 2 hours.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
Listen, I was like, a half a tank gas is fine for sitting idle for 2.5 hours, right? Anyway, as we're sitting in line, we're having a good old time, okay? Beta orders a bunch of snacks. We
got the diblitos on
Yeah,
the side.
yeah.
We got
Beta
like
even held a puppy.
Oh my god, the pup! Dude,
You know, like we're really enjoying ourselves while we
Yeah.
wait to cross the border.
Yeah, we're doing good.
You know, because we thought 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Well, these guys end up passing out on me. I'm still slowly idling towards the border. It's on to like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. These guys are passed out.
we weren't passed out
I
the
was not
entire
passed
time.
out that
Not the
entire
entire
time.
time.
I did
Wait,
maybe an hour.
These guys
Yeah.
are now passed out.
Now,
let's just
now
say.
we're getting a little tired. Now we're wondering, like, honestly, I'll take that 2.5 hours now. Guy, like, let me go back and
I
take
wish
it.
it
I
would've
want
been
you
2.5
to,
hours.
like, yeah, no take backs. Joke's on you, Beta.
So these guys are definitely asleep at this time. Okay, we'll fast forward just a little bit, but it's roughly 7.5 hours. I want to say, and there's a car ahead of us. They're going through the inspection. We're pulling onto the platform. I had been staring at my gas gauge, just sitting behind the E for quite some time at this
Hours.
point. Probably, yeah, honestly. And I just let the homies sleep because I thought to myself,
Yes.
if I wake these guys up and stress them out right now, what are they going to do about it?
Dude, I was
That's-
up by this point though. 'cause
Yeah.
I
No,
was
we
up
had
by
this
point.
conversation
But I
before
didn't
that.
say it to anybody.
Right. We had so going back to my initial preface to the story, which is this is the embodiment of Raul, right? Where it's like I'm gonna hold on to the stress and the pain and the nervousness and the realization that we're kind of fucked right now. I'm gonna bear all that bad news and abstract it away from my friends because it won't be productive
It won't.
if I see, but like for me, if I were behind the wheel, I would be fucking flipping out.
No.
And like we would be having long conversations about how we're gonna solve that problem.
No.
Way
There was-
before.
No
way.
no,
There's no way.
No, you would have come up with something. You'd have been like, let's pay somebody to go get us gas. And there's a good chance.
That actually probably.
I'm sorry.
worked.
There's a
That
good
was-
chance
yeah.
we probably could have, but instead I decided, fuck it, let's hunker down.
Yeah.
Let's fucking wait it out. So
That's some I gotta say, that's emotional maturity and awareness of the situation. Because I saw that fucking light on and I'm like, Rao, I'm not sure if you noticed that light.
I
You know,
remember him saying that though.
and then Raul's like, yeah, I've been staring at it for the past like 3 fucking hours, yo. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool.
So the car passes inspection, and it's our turn. So we're pulling up
Nope.
onto the next
Nope.
We
platform.
were 2 cars back.
We're 2 cars and your
cars
car died.
Two?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And
we
then-
were in the line because when we got out, they were like, "Get back in your car." We're like, "The car died, bro."
yeah,
Yeah,
'cause I
like,
remember.
you
So I was
wanna
like,
hold it
all right,
Don't
let's
talk
hop
shit,
out.
don't talk shit.
Yeah.
And then we rolled up our fucking
But-
sleeves and pushed the car.
Yeah, but you guys jumped out. There was no questions asked. It was, hey guys, we gotta get out and push the car. And it was like, all right. So we all got out of the car. I was like, give me your passports.
We're
quick. Literally pushing the car up.
Yep.
I've got the passports in my left hand as we pull up to the booth. And the Border Patrol person's like, did your car break down? And I was like, nah, we ran out of gas. And they're like, don't worry, man. It happens.
Yeah, all the time. They're like, it happened the other day.
It happens all the time.
But
I swear they didn't do an inspection.
Nope.
I think she looked at like the 3 passports I handed her and like just handed them back, and they were just like, all right, man, go ahead and just push the car through.
Yep.
And
Dude, they asked us, they were like, do you have any illegal alcohol? I was like, nah. And then Beta just looks at me, and I knew, I was like, nah, bull. I was like, I want that tequila.
Oh, you brought the
Bottle
tequila
of
back?
bag.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
fuck
so
that.
So pro tip, in case you guys ever want to like smuggle, just turn your car off, pretend you ran out of gas, and start pushing it. So they won't check anything.
Yeah, they welcomed us.
Yeah, they're like, just get the fuck out of our line. Like,
Yep.
Pretty much. They gave us attitude like it was our fault.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Well, because
Well,
it was my fault. I guess.
It's not really your
I guess
fault,
I have
though.
to bear the
They-
burden again.
They
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking...
again, Beta.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not pointing fingers
Yeah,
or anything,
sure.
but
Okay. But the cool thing is we pulled over. I called AAA. They were there in like 10 minutes, fueled us up, and I drove everybody home, and we were good.
8 hours. at
8
the
hours,
border.
bro.
Yeah, but that was the
8
longest.
hours.
That's the longest I've ever
Don't-
waited in a crossing.
Don't
was
let
crazy.
Google lie to you. Not 2.5 hours,
Dude,
man.
That was Google
that
Maps,
was
I'm just
so
saying.
tough.
Fucking Google Maps. Am I right?
So wait, where are we going? Where are we going in a couple weeks?
PV, bro.
Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are we gonna do there?
Dude, what are we not gonna do? We're
It's
gonna
in
do
Jalisco.
it. We're
That's
gonna
where my
do
family's
it
from,
all.
apparently.
Yeah, it's not far from Guadalajara, which he's also been to actually.
Guadalajara is cool. Yeah.
How long?
PV's cool.
Do you know if is that like a long
4-hour
bus
drive.
ride? Oh, sheesh.
Yeah. No. We're not going there.
We're not doing
We're,
that.
we're staying right next to the fucking beach.
Yeah.
Yes, we is.
I'm down.
Dude, I came to San Diego expecting it to be warm. It's fucking cold as
Yeah, right. It
dick
was
out
so
here,
hot
yo.
today
Oh
when
my
you went outside,
gosh.
right?
I wish I
Bro,
had
it was pretty warm today.
Dude, when I went out,
needed
12?
2 blankets last night. That's offensive.
Well, that's.
That's offensive.
I mean, you've got
You're
all this
from the
cover
Bay,
right
bro.
here.
Like, come
yeah,
on
but
now.
I expect the Bay to be cold. Not in San Diego though.
It's been hella cold though. Like on
I
the real,
know.
I wore a thermal all day. This is not acceptable. I
Yeah.
want t-shirt and like a windbreaker.
No,
yeah,
dude.
I want to be
straight
sweating
up.
in a t-shirt.
You guys get outside in the middle of the day because I was.
You did come home a little
I was
sweaty.
dying at the skate park
That's what I'm-
again
I mean,
today.
I was in front of a roaster though, and it was still like.
I was under the
Ooh,
hot
cozy.
sun.
Yum.
Dude, oh my goodness. Well, fuck, man, I'm excited. But what are we gonna do down there?
Dude.
I don't know what to do down there.
Oh,
Just,
th-
what are we gonna
We're
do?
Dude,
gonna walk
you
around
gotta
with
remember
egos,
that
yo.
Kano's first trip to Mexico.
What?
Right?
Was Ensenada?
us in Ensenada?
Well, no. I've been to Mexico before. I've never been past TJ.
Oh
Yeah, you see what I mean?
That's
So
like
he doesn't have an expectation yet, so we're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna
I have
show him
no
a good
idea.
time.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I have no idea what to expect. It's literally like Ray's like, we're gonna go to Mexico. I was like, where? Puerto Vallarta. Okay.
yeah.
And I was like, cool.
Okay.
And-
So this is what we're gonna do. First of all, we're gonna tonight go look at some spots. We're gonna book a sick ass Airbnb. It's gonna have an ocean view. It's gonna be probably on a cliff. It's gonna be a house. It's gonna be incredible. We're gonna get there. We're gonna go to the spot, drop our shit off. We're gonna go find some tacos immediately and some margs.
Yo, we got some
Right
fire
away.
tacos in Ensenada. Remember that one spot we were staying at?
Yes, I do.
Fucking
But listen, there-
Alabama.
dude, where we stood there, yeah, I do remember that. After our night of drinking, where we like literally stood there next to the little cart of tacos,
Yeah.
and we outlasted like 7 groups of people
yeah,
because we
we're
were just crushing
Going
tacos.
back. And then they
Yeah.
were like, at the end of
Yeah,
it, they're
they-
like, siete. Siete what? Dollars. Like,
Yeah.
that's it?
No, I was like, no, I had Nueve tacos. Thank you very much.
and a can of Coke.
Yeah. No, dude, honestly, dude, we're gonna have a good time. I will show you a very good time.
You're gonna have a
like,
great time.
Like TJ is not real Mexican. I mean, no offense to TJ, but like it's likely the worst part of Mexico. Honestly, it's just like really janky in TJ. So all the beach towns are nice. It's very touristy in PV and Cabo and Cancun and such, but it is nice, you know. And as long as you don't get stuck in a resort, an all-inclusive resort where they give you shitty food, you go out, eat in the hole in the walls, That's this guy. I mean, that's all we did. I mean, we literally ate tacos like 2 to 3 times per day, and there's only 3 meals in a day. So.
Dude, we were
crazy.
like, you guys went to go. Who got a haircut? I just remember falling asleep
That
with
was
some
me.
barber ass chick.
Oh, that was me again. Sorry, I was thinking Los Cabos, but then I was like, yeah, we
We
did
went
it
to
in Ensenada.
Ensenada.
I got a haircut too.
When?
I got a shitty ass haircut in
Well,
Ensenada.
yeah,
Remember?
at some point, we like went to a barber shop, and then he had like the little homie cutting his hair, and he's like telling him in
Remember you
Spanish how to
fucked
cut
up
his
my
hair.
hair?
It was all his hairline was all fucked up. Remember,
I don't remember. Was I with you guys at the time?
bro? Me and you fell
What?
asleep in the barber
We
shop.
only had one car.
Yeah. You act like we weren't
Yes,
together
you
the
were
whole
with
time.
us.
We fell asleep. Oh, we went all around town to find
Yeah.
a haircut for you.
It was
Yeah.
terrible.
We went into the haircut district and got bounced around.
I
They're
know.
Like, nope. You got to go to that one. All right.
And then the little
Waited
homie
a
cut him
minute.
up.
It was
I
hard.
don't remember that.
Yeah, they had the young guy cut my hair, and the old dude was like instructing him why he was cutting another gentleman's hair. And I was like, "Oh, this is gonna end really well."
Dude, that place. I hope it's more open. You think it's gonna be more open than fucking Ensenada
Well,
was?
I just heard from a friend that the Mexico City is certainly closed right now.
Yeah,
So
I
I
heard
don't
the
know
same.
how open it is, but listen, we're gonna be eating tacos. We're gonna be drinking.
down.
We're gonna be with some cool people, and it's gonna be beautiful. And that's all. I mean, as long as we can all have a good time in a house on our own, I think we should be good.
Yeah,
Bro, we just bring the mini speaker again.
yeah.
Yo, that's all I need, bro. There's a mini
Dude,
speaker,
I-
some tequila. I'm chilling.
It'll
go.
basically be our group, right? Being able to go out and get good food, like you mentioned, grab some
Food.
drinks before
Yes.
things close around. Hopefully 10 on the weekend
10, yeah,
or 9,
maybe.
right?
Yeah.
And then being in front of the ocean though, and
Yeah.
just being able to run out into the ocean.
We can
We
go
still need to go to the pyramids, though.
excursions. You know,
It's
we
gonna
can go.
happen.
Yeah.
We have to.
But
go
when
to the
Mexico
fucking-
City comes to life again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the excursions. Dude, we gotta look at
yeah.
the 4x4 again.
You were gonna do
Dude,
something
I'm
like that
down
shit,
to
yeah. Yep.
whip some 4x4s. Let's go.
Dude,
I'm
it's fun.
fucking down.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I
we're
want to
going.
whip some.
We had
Whip
a
it.
blast.
And
Dude,
nay.
can I drive them? Or like, do they?
Yeah,
have
of
to?
course,
You know,
dude. That's what you're doing. Yeah.
Full bar, everything.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no roll
I mean,
bar.
don't
it's a 4x4.
don't flip. Don't flip
I'm not gonna
the,
flip. I was
the
just
spot.
fucking around.
No, it's fine, but you can get hurt. It's
Yeah,
I
but get the
know.
insurance if you're gonna
Get
be
the
Oh,
wild
I
and
want to
out.
get wild.
Trust
Yeah,
me, you'll be
insurance.
better for it.
I want to get crazy.
Get insurance all the time.
Dude,
The one that
always.
we did was pretty freaking amazing.
That
dude.
was the best. I've been on a lot of ATV tours. That was by far the best one I've ever been on in Cabo. It was
Yep.
amazing.
Dude, I'm so down.
You go well. I don't want to set the wrong expectation
No,
because
I
this
just
is
wanna
not
drive it.
Cabo. I don't know what PV has, but I'm sure we can find something really cool. We'll go do some excursions.
Let's do some fun shit.
Yeah.
Can we
for
go
sure.
shoot some guns?
Dude, you want to shoot some guns? We can shoot some guns. Actually, I don't know that if that's
Can we do
true,
that
but
down
yeah,
there?
probably. Yeah.
I was like,
If you search hard enough, you'll find a
Beda's way
gun.
more down. I mean, we could definitely get guns and then go shoot them if that's what you want to do. You know?
I mean, just something fun. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hey, listen, shooting guns is very fun.
Dude,
now,
it's so fun.
on that note, you know that's me saying that. By the way, is much different than my views on gun control. But you
Legal,
can't
all
deny that you go to a range and you fucking unload 50 rounds on a fully automatic machine gun. That is very, very fun.
Dude, I like the semi-automatics, like the AR-15. That one's pretty tight.
Yeah.
I got to shoot one, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this is pretty tough. I'm about it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say something. I totally fucking spaced.
no worries.
What were we talking about before that? We're talking about ATV and mobbing. Oh, insurance. Dude, I don't know if I ever told you this, Beta. I definitely told Ray Ray, I think. But dude, talking about how important just like that extra $10 you get the insurance. It's totally fine.
Well, it depends on what context it is, because there are a lot of insurance policies that are scams. So tell me more.
Well, it was like from a rental car.
Okay.
Like a rental spot. And it was in the Bay Area. It was in Fremont. And my mom got like a brand new Nissan Murano. I don't know, it was like, 2000 or I was driving, so I had 2003 or 4 or whatever it was. And my mom's like, hey, you can take the rental to go skate. So I go skate off of Tennyson Road, like in like South Hayward. And I like go to the skate park with my homie Daniel. And then like there's like these 2 gangsters in the park. And so like my keys like down on the thing and like by my water and shit. And I was like, oh, whatever. And like we're skating. And the gangsters like go sit on the ledge where my shit is. And all of a sudden they're like standing there. And I'm kind of looking at them. I'm like, these motherfuckers are about to take my keys. And then they just like go over, grab the keys, and then like go and I see them go, and I'm like, Daniel, they grabbed my keys. He's like, what? Like, we go fucking run after this fool, and they fucking like jumped in the rental car, fucking stole the car, all of our wallets, cell phones, everything was in the car. Like, we fucking bolted across the street to the fire station, like knocking on the fire station's door, like, yo, let us in, and they're like, nah. Like, through the other side, they're like, what do you want? And we're like, I just got card checked, and they were like, yeah, sorry, man. I was like, dude, my fucking wallet, my phone, everything's in there. I need to call
like,
my mom.
Is it
like,
on fire?
Well, because in that part of the town, like, the skaters like killed a bum and shit, and it was like a bad part of town. Yeah. So where the skate park was not a very safe area. So they fucking they were not stoked about it at all, and but they finally let us in. But the point of the story is that when we called the rental car place, we're like, hey, the car got stolen. They were like, did you get insurance? And we're like, yeah. And they were like, it's all good, it's covered. It's like, dude, got a brand new car stolen, and they found it in Oakland on fucking bricks.
Oh, okay.
Gutted.
There you go.
For all its parts.
So you know what I call that, by the way? I call that a redistribution of wealth, you know?
Yeah.
So the insurance companies don't need more money, right? So they're going to pay for this car. And some homies in Oakland got some new tires out of it. So I think everybody wins, and no money out of your pocket either. So
it was buttery.
There you go.
It was fucking, that's the most base shit I've ever seen in my life. Dude, I love it. So then, Beta, you were just in Hawaii. How long did you live in Hawaii for?
Well, yeah. So what had happened was, and we can go back a little bit. So I travel a lot for work, especially at Calm, right? Being only sales rep. You know, when you sell large contracts, you want to go out and, you know, meet the customers in person, wine and dine them. You know, you got to meet the right folks, and that's just how deals get done. Now, obviously, in the pandemic, it changed quite a bit. So, you know, back in Con, I was traveling internationally actually, and doing like incredibly long stints, like I don't know, like up to like 5-6 weeks of travel at once all over the world. And it was amazing at first, and then after a while it became incredibly tiring. So after about a year and a half or so, the first year I had a lot of fun. We ate, drank, lived life, traveled, worked, sold contracts, and then you know, rinse and repeat. After that, it became tiring, and it still did it, you know, for the rest of my time there. And then finally COVID hit. So for the first time in about 5 years or so in my sales career, I was able to just settle down and, you know, live life in a very settled way. And I was in the same spot. I was in the same room in Oakland for, you know, 3 months, which I've never stayed that long in one spot for in a long time. And it was amazing. I loved it. I was able to, you know, buy hella plants and create this space.
Dude, yeah, you became a little planty guy.
Yeah, it was it got kind of weird. I mean, what the fuck else are you gonna do in a pandemic? And you can't even see humans. You're like, you know what? I'll talk to my fucking plants. I mean, all of these guys have personalities.
This new buddy got a pot. Like this buddy got a new pot.
Yeah,
like, yo,
yeah, you did.
I remember that.
Good. Yeah, that was an important moment for that guy. So anyway,
Too much, Beta.
So true.
So
true.
So you know, with COVID and everything, it's all about risk tolerance, if that makes sense. Now, there's obviously the most responsible thing to do, which is just stay inside, don't see anybody, and if everybody did that for 2 weeks, it would be over, right? But I mean, it's just not a realistic way of living, and obviously, not everybody's going to contribute to that. And all of a sudden, you have to think about, you know, mental health and happiness, and like, are you going nuts or not? So 3 months was quite a while, and I enjoyed my time tremendously, just like not having to think about travel. And then the inevitable happens, which is you start getting a little antsy. You're like, yeah, you know, you travel so much all the time. You're constantly hopping around. I'm like, dude, I haven't been in an airport in 3 months. So at that point, we started, you know, me and my friends, my quarantine buddies, my roommate, some of my closest friends, started, you know, talking about doing, you know, opening up travel a little bit, right? So this is starting in, I don't know, April. Let's see, pandemic started March. I was traveling right up into COVID. Actually, I think I settled for about 2 months before we took our first trip, and we just drove somewhere. Went to like something like Slow or something, San Luis Obispo, down in Central Cal, which was nice. And we got away for the weekend. It was still nice. And then at that point, starting with that trip, I was just like, okay, well, if this is the case, I'm just going to go ahead and start traveling safely as I can do it. Now, again, some people won't agree with this, and that's fine. But, we went all around town. We got tested, try to be as responsible as possible. But in 2020, I did the most domestic travel of my life. I just went all over the place. We went to God, I remember, we went to Tahoe, we went to Utah, Moab, we went to Vegas, went to San Diego. We went all over, just domestically. We couldn't get anywhere. Actually, we did.
We had some
Chicago
fun in
too.
San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego. I mean, we just. I mean, at that point, I was doing a trip. At that point, I went nuts. I did a trip every 2 weeks, but still ended to back up in Oakland. Things calmed down a little bit towards the end of the year. So around November, my sister hits me up. It's like, yo, we're going to go take mom and the kids out to Hawaii. You should come with us. I'm like, that's cool. I'm totally down. But I gotta work while I'm out there. So, obviously I won't be able to stay with you guys. They're like, yeah, probably don't stay with us because we got 2 babies, such and such. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going to bring my own friends then so we can get an Airbnb together and actually, I can not be alone by myself. Okay, cool. So I brought my friends and we went to Hawaii. It was a 10-day trip. Started in Oahu, hung out there, and then went to Kauai for a little bit and had a blast with both my family and my friends. And so in the beginning of the week, I was like, man, this place is sick. I love Hawaii. It's beautiful. It's out there, and the hours are great because I work Pacific hours, right? And that means Hawaii being 2 hours behind us, I would wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. to work West Coast hours and then finish by 1 or 2 p.m. and then just go fuck off at the beach for the rest of the day. And that's every day. So you have a lot of daylight left.
You were playing a lot of volleyball.
A lot of volleyball, a lot of hiking, a lot of beach going, sunsets. I mean, it's beautiful out there, and this is everybody's just out there doing the same shit, outdoor shit, having a good time. And it was amazing. So in the beginning of the week, I was like, man, this is really cool. I can really get used to this. And then later on, I was like, yo, why don't I just stay? And it was kind of a joke, why don't I just stay? I wouldn't do that. But by the end of the week, I started realizing I really don't have any reasons not to. Now, the thing is with my job,
True that.
With big tech companies right now, a lot of them are coming out and saying, you know what, remote work for the rest of the, for indefinitely. You guys can always, everybody can work remotely at this point more. That's amazing. And if I were in any other role, first of all, my company didn't even say this, but if I were in any other role which is not customer facing, meaning the expectation is for us to meet with customers face to face, and I manage a territory in San Francisco now, the expectation is I live in territory. But while COVID is happening, this is literally for me a once in a lifetime opportunity where I don't have to live in the region that I manage. I don't have to go and look and meet with customers face to face. And so I was like, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know anybody here, but I know that this is something I have to do. So, I had a flight home. Obviously, I just didn't go home. And instead, I went back to Oahu from Kauai, and I found a place, to sign a lease for, just a short-term lease, about 3 months or so. And then stayed out there. And all my friends and family obviously came home and, resumed their regular lives. And, honestly, at this point in November, cases were climbing again, right? And, a lot of spots started shutting down, especially California. So right after they got back, about a week later, the entire spot shut down. So really, for 2 reasons now. One is once in a lifetime opportunity for Beta from a work perspective. 2 is what the fuck else are you going to do in California right now? Nothing's happening. You go back, I'm going to sit in an apartment that's cold and miserable and just be by myself. No, I'm just going to stay out here because Hawaii had that shit on lock. You have to have a negative test to get out there even, right? Or else they don't let you fly. Otherwise, you have to quarantine for 14 days until you get a negative test. So cases were low, and it was as if people were resuming life in a very normal way. So stayed out there for a couple months, lived through my lease. At a certain point, I was missing my friends and family. It's been a while, 3 months again out there. So I came back, but during Hawaii, I also made the decision, you know what, if this is the case, and I'm going to live here up until my company forces me to come home, which is the end of 2021, then I'm not going to double pay rent indefinitely. So I got to go back and close out my lease. And this is why I'm homeless right now, quote unquote, is went back, put all my shit into storage, closed out my lease. And I'm kind of on my way back to Hawaii, but I'm going to do some traveling before. So hence my first stop is here in San Diego, visit you guys. Go to Vegas, visit my sister and her kids. I'm gonna go to Cincinnati, roll up my sleeves, and go knock on some doors out there for real estate. I don't think we can talk about that, but and then from there, meet y'all in fucking Puerto Vallarta, where it's way warmer than Cincinnati.
Damn, you have a busy couple weeks, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't end there. Go to Denver after that. Go back to the Bay, unpack some shit, pack some more shorts, and then fuck on back to Hawaii, and I'll see y'all, when you're out there in June for my birthday. It's a destination birthday party. You're invited.
That's the first I'm hearing about this.
Oh, you're
in
coming,
Oahu?
Bro. Yeah, Oahu. Come on out. I'll get us a fucking badass mansion.
Dude,
or
I'm
something.
very familiar with Oahu.
Yeah.
I'm fucking down. Like, dude, I mean, I don't know if like it's still cool if I hit up the people that I know, but I mean, they said to hit them up, so I was like,
Dude, they're so aloha out there. We're all just trying to have a good time out there, man.
yeah, it'll be fun, dude. I got the food spots too, like food spots you might not know about.
Oh yeah, I'm down, dude. I'm always down to eat some yummy food.
Oh, dude, I'm so down.
Yeah.
Okay, so
June, Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
The 12th.
June 12th.
Yeah.
It's gonna be French trip 4.0.
I think we're at like 5 or 6. I don't know.
Yeah, so we gotta get some COVID tests then. We gotta go get some COVID
For
tests.
Hawaii.
Or you can just get
Hawaii.
vaccinated.
Hawaii.
Or maybe by that time, it's not going to be a fucking thing.
It'll be summer, bro. But I bet
Yeah.
you all of a sudden around summer, it's just gonna disappear. Just like
I don't know about
masks.
disappear,
No.
but
We don't
it's-
use that kind of language.
I'm just-
it's going to be a much lesser of a thing, I think. But I mean, you start with a vaccination. By then, all of us should be vaccinated, so it should be relatively safe.
Dude, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm super down. That'll be fun.
And
Let's go.
this is part of the reason I grind. It's just that I want to live a certain lifestyle. I want to do what I want to do, but it's not fun if I do it by myself. You know what I mean? So like,
I gotta get the homies to come through.
I want everybody to just fucking come with me, and we can all just fuck off around the world and live a sick life, and that's the goal.
I mean, it sounds good. I'm down.
Come with me.
Dude, but the hustle, like, bro, I think I was telling Ray. I don't know. I don't think Ray's gonna come no more. But like, go to Brazil. Brazil's like also.
Still
on the
down to go to
agenda.
Brazil.
Are you still down to go to Brazil?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be
Dude.
January 2021, but for obvious
mean,
reasons.
Can I say something?
What?
Brazil is fucking amazing. So
Dude, I want to go
and
so bad.
honestly, if you want to go, like, I mean, their president doesn't give a fuck about COVID out there. So if you want to go, I'm pretty sure it's open.
Dude, the thing about it is though, is like Brazil for so many reasons. Like, and I was talking to my homie Little C about this, and he's like, dude, we do an origin trip for coffee. We do an origin trip for coffee out there. Go to check out some farms. But then Little C comes out there, and then we do some jujitsu.
Oh.
Like, yo, we fucking go tough out there.
Yeah.
Would you go to
But then go skate.
you go to Sao Paulo?
Everything.
Sao Paulo, probably
Rio.
like Rio de Janeiro. Where else? I mean, like,
Those are the two biggest. I mean, Brazil is very fucking big,
dude,
and
yeah.
very populous. So there's a whole bunch of places, but those are the only two, and they're both amazing. I mean, like, first of all, okay, so Sao Paulo, like there's an airport that's like, let's call it 30 kilometers away from city center, right? And so like you land at that airport, it can take you like fucking 4 hours to get in because of traffic, how gridlocked the traffic is. Okay, so there's another airport inside of Sao Paulo, and you can fly through the city into that airport. Now, have you been in New York?
Yeah.
Okay, have you been in a spot where you can see Manhattan and that city sprawl?
No, I stayed in Manhattan every time I was there.
Right. Okay. So you've seen that like kind of city block of city sprawl, right? Oh. Sao Paulo, like from a geographic standpoint, is like that. Like you see all these buildings, right? Like very, very densely populated buildings, right? But you multiply the size of Manhattan by like 100 is how big Sao Paulo is. That sprawl is unreal. So we're flying in, and you start seeing buildings pop up, right? And the buildings become more and more concentrated. And then 15 minutes later, you land in the city center. And throughout that entire time, it's just buildings and buildings. It's amazing. It's fucking unreal. So the city of Sao Paulo, first of all, it has great food, beautiful women, you name it. I mean, and on top of that, currency's tanking, so our dollar will go a lot farther, right? So first time I went there, it was $1 to 3 reals. Second time I went there, it was $1 to 4 reals. So your dollar just got stronger by 33% overnight, seemingly. So your dollar go a long ways. It's amazing. And that's just Sao Paulo. Rio's a different beast altogether.
Dude, I mean, I want to go there for so many reasons, but mainly because coffee and jiu-jitsu. But like, yeah, I'm down for all of it. No comment.
And the wild
I'm
women.
not even gonna say nothing. Yeah,
Ripping and the tearing.
I really want to go and skating. Like, I want to go skate.
Yeah, I'd be
like,
down to skate,
dude.
for sure.
See, to be honest, like if it's women would be like 4 or 5. Like I have so many other things.
Wait
on
till
my
you see
mind.
them; they'll hop up to 2.
Dude. No, like I have shit I want to do. Like I want to go out. Like in my mind, I want to like buy a drone and then go to a coffee farm, like form a relationship with a coffee farmer, and then start like blow them up. You know what I mean? Like fucking like talk about them and fucking. I got like this whole like grandmaster plan in my head, and then like I want to tour the farm and like take like a fucking drone and like zoom. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck about women honestly right now. I mean, like I don't mean it like that. Like I mean, I just don't care about like dating a woman out there. Like I just want to like go to a fucking coffee farm and do this shit, and then like I want to roll. Like
You
on
know,
this
the
jujitsu
beautiful thing
and
is
skate.
none of those things are mutually exclusive. So we can have the
Cardinal
best of
rule
everything.
here.
What does that mean?
Cardinal rule,
Like
brother.
you can have all of the above.
Dude, I mean, I just got other shit on my mind, honestly.
It's fine. I'm poking fun.
I know.
I'm poking
It
fun.
sounds
I mean, it is-
stupid, but like, that's 100%. That's all I want right now. Like, I want to go
Brazil.
grind that out.
Brazil's pretty amazing. It's a little messy. It's a
Brazil
little dangerous.
2022, bro.
Dude,
2022.
2020.
2021, dude. Let's fucking go. You want to go? Let's go.
I gotta figure it out. I gotta get there by the end of the year.
Do you really want to go? this year?
I'm so serious about going to Brazil. I want to go to a coffee farm. Like I want to see
If
this
you're gonna
shit.
go all the way out there, you got to hit up some other spots in South America as well, because it's kind of out there. You know what I mean? If you're
Dude,
gonna
it's
travel,
but not really though, right? Isn't it like you're flying south? I mean,
No, it's
how many-
expensive, and you're going all the way down, bro.
to the east side
Yeah.
Super
of,
down.
of South America.
Or like
you
we should
pop
stop
off
in
in
Colombia.
Yes, we will.
Yeah,
We absolutely will. Medellin.
That's your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Colombia was your favorite, right, Beta?
Colombia.
Or was it Cuba?
Cuba was my favorite.
Oh, Cuba was
You've
your
been to
favorite.
Cuba?
I've been to Cuba.
God damn, bro.
He slid in just before.
They locked it down.
little,
The sanctions.
They locked it back down
sliver
again.
of time. Yeah, Cuba
put-
was amazing. Yo.
Who put
Oh,
the
man.
sanctions on? Was it Cuba put sanctions or America?
Trump did.
Trump, yeah.
Damn it. Okay, so sorry. Go ahead.
Nothing.
No,
What was
I
it
mean-
like there?
Cuba is crazy, man. So first of all, it's very poor. So your dollar goes even farther. So that's a consideration. So when the poorer they are, the stronger your dollar is. So you can do a lot with your money there. It is a very antiquated kind of society. Not society. I can't say it like that. So a lot of things are just outdated, right? So you go in and you see all these like cars from like the 70s and the 80s. So it's kind of like a blast into the past, which is really cool because they don't import a lot of cars in there. So a lot of like classic vehicles being driven around as taxis. So that's one thing you're going to notice right away. The architecture is relatively old, right? So everything's kind of janky. Nothing's really modern, but it has that kind of historic charm to it. And most importantly, the energy there is just incredible. And that's, and you know, that it's really interesting because if you live in poverty, you would expect like them to be maybe like sad or down on themselves, but really they're just out there having a great time. So, and you know me, I don't really like party that. I mean, I party, but I just fall asleep real early every night, you know?
You get the glow and then you kind of pass out.
Yeah, something to that extent. I can party, guys. It's just not for too long.
We had, dude, wait. In PB, when we went like right when you came back and shit opened up again, and we were like, yo, I'm gonna go get something from the liquor store real quick, and then you came back and you had a fucking fireball
shots.
10 shots for
Oh,
$10,
PB.
and you like came over the car
the
and I was like,
sidewalk.
I was rolling the blunt in the
Yeah.
car, and you were like. You were like, I couldn't pass up a good deal.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
are you serious?
It was like $1 a shot.
Yeah,
right?
it was 10 fireball shots for $10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's usually the cost of one cocktail, and all of us about to be fucked up off one cocktail.
Dude, and I'm
Listen,
sitting there rolling the blunt, and it's
you know,
just like,
it was
wow.
it was backwood too. Yeah,
It was a backwood too.
Yeah. We're really classing it up on PB. You know, just you know.
Grown ass man just acting a fool in PB.
Yeah, that was a fun night. Yeah. Oh, real quick in
Yes.
Cuba.
Oh.
Partied every night until like 4 a.m. Like dancing out there, you know, like drinking, partying with the locals. I mean, just the energy was incredible. Music, live music. They would have like So what they would do is they would, play like mainstream like songs, like top 40 type songs, but there'd be somebody on the saxophone, trumpet, and like drums, like playing alongside with it, like kind of doing their own solos and improving against it. It was fucking amazing. So so Cuba is definitely one to go to.
Dude, that sounds. Where's like the coolest place with the sketchiest situation that you've ever been in?
Oh man,
Coolest place, sketchy situation.
Prague.
coolest place.
I feel like that's where it would be.
Prague was okay. I was in a sketchy situation in Prague because I got too drunk for a pub crawl, and then I was like, yeah, like if there was a target, it'd be Beta right now. I threw up like it's like, yeah, we're gonna go on a pub crawl, and I had to go by myself because my family didn't want to come with me. So I'm like, yeah, we're really getting excited for this. I'm like, I'm gonna go out and just really fuck shit up,
Did you have you had homies there?
Nope, just me. Yeah. Well, I mean, my family, I was with my sister and like my sisters, my cousin, and one of their, significant others. And none of them really partied, so I just went by myself.
It's like, so you met other individuals?
Yeah, it's a pub crawl.
Just like, just like a random for tourists or something like that?
Yeah, for Americans, exactly. Yeah, or for travelers, whatever.
Interesting.
So like, absinthe is a big thing out there.
Right.
Horrible stuff.
Yeah, so
Not my thing.
the model is, okay, from 9 to 10 p.m., guys, you drink as much as you want. But after that, you get 1 or 2 drinks per bar that we go to or per club that we go to. So it's like the race is on. All right, and I was like, guys, I'm going to go out and party tonight. I'm going to fucking light this town on fire. It's going to be crazy. And then they're just like, okay, Beta, go have fun. Right? This was like 9 p.m. Go there. Rip the shots. Just fucking crush so many shots. Absinthe, vodka, you name it. By like 9:45, I'm like, oh shit, I'm really drunk. I should go probably eat a slice of pizza. By 10, we leave for the first bar. First bar, I get there, throw up immediately, drink my drink, go to the second bar, throw up again.
Oh my God.
and then so so at this point I'm like, is it even worth it to go to the third bar, because I feel like I know what's gonna happen. So anyway, so that's like, now we're at like what, 10:45.
An hour and a half.
Yeah,
Hour 45, easy.
yeah, an hour 45 later, and then I like stumble around a little bit. By like 11:15 I'm home, and my everybody's just like laughing at me, like, wow, really, Beta, like you really crushed it tonight, didn't you? You really painted that. Yeah, like, because it was supposed to end at like 4 a.m. at the club. Like, Prague has some pretty incredible like clubs. So it was sketchy in the sense that I've heard that the club I was supposed to end up at has a lot of pickpocketers, but lucky for Beta, he didn't make it there. So he avoided the sketchiness. That was why I went home.
Oh my goodness, get out of here.
God, Beta. Dude, I mean, I can't really talk shit because I mean, like, at least you did it. We were talking about before the podcast when I like got to the bar off the Jaeger and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it happens sometimes.
It happens.
Guys. It's like,
Just
at the
get
end of the
caught
day,
up.
you don't got to impress anybody. You just have to have a good time. You're not having a good time anymore. You go the fuck home and go to bed.
How do you deal with throwing up and you don't know anybody and you're just like by yourself? You're just like partied out and everybody. You're just like, are you worried
Try
about
to
what
keep
people
your
are
eyes
thinking
open.
or like?
Boot and rally, baby. Every time it's like a little kick, like a little pick me up every time I throw up. Then it's like you're good for a little bit. Like, yeah, go partying. And it's like, man, that Beta goes to the bathroom a lot. Like, I know. Oh, by the way,
Small blood.
no. I mean, they might. Yeah. I mean, you'll certainly hear that somebody's throwing up. Because I'm a vocal one.
Very loud.
Are you really?
Yeah, he knows.
Like forces it out.
Yeah.
You're like a violent.
I'm a very violent. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying the process. It doesn't sound like it, but I know that the end result is going to be much better. It's going to leave me much better
It
off.
sounds more like he's upset about the whole thing.
Yeah. It's extracting the demons from my soul.
man.
That's what it is. It's an exorcism. It's bad. I mean, it's bad, but
It's just weakness leaving the body.
yeah,
That's
you
all
got to
it
you got to
is.
keep the figure tight somehow, right?
Oh my God! Stop playing. No. What's up, Mr. Silence over here though? Like, why aren't you contributing?
Oh, I was just letting Beta tell
I'm
his story.
sorry. Yeah,
man.
I have
Yeah,
too
I'm
many
a good
words.
listener.
I'm a good listener. I listen to my own self-talk.
Dude, well, what aside from Mexico, you got Denver. Is there anything really big planned? Like, I mean, you're also talking about real estate. What is that? What you're kind of setting up to do outside
Yeah.
of your big tech big tech job. Jeez. Sorry.
Yeah, certainly. So that's the end game, right? So, I bought my first property in 2013. And from there I was like, okay, there's something here with, just how the Oakland market was really like going nuts over the next couple of years. So I was like, there's something here in real estate. I didn't really know what it was, but I knew it was something there. In 2000, so I started like in 2000, 1 year later, I bought another house because we wanted a yard, right? So I started renting out the first spot, and that's kind of the concept. You just like, buy shit, you rent it out, and then hopefully it can pay for itself and a little bit more. My friend in 2000, this is actually an inflection point in my life. He introduced me to a podcast called Bigger Pockets, and this podcast about real estate investing. In fact, this was a podcast I reached out to about getting onto the podcast about real estate. But side note, real quick, I'm super stoked that I'm doing this podcast with you tonight as the first podcast I've ever done. I'd much rather keep it in the family. You know what I mean? Like,
Butters.
yeah, like support. If a homie has a podcast I can contribute to and provide value to, I would love to do that over some random real estate podcasts out there. But I started listening to Bigger Pockets, and it just teaches you how to invest in real estate. They interview real estate investors, and there's a million different ways to make money in that world. And so you learn about all the different strategies, learn about the fundamentals, learn about all of the stuff, and then the light bulb kind of just went off at that point. And I realized that this is the end game. Like this is actually what I've been working hard towards. So on the one side, you make money, right? You save the money. On the other side, you park the money so that it can make money for you. And that's like the basic concept. Real estate is a slow game, right? You're not going to get rich overnight. It's not like, the stock market or trading options where it's high risk, high reward, or Bitcoin for that matter, high fluctuations, stuff like that. Or in my case, GameStop, where I bought hella shares at $350 and lost hella money on it really quickly.
Damn.
Fuck, that sucks.
Yeah. Anyways, so
That's happened to a lot of people, though.
Yeah. Your boy, dude. Buy high, sell low, baby. That's what we do. Anyways, so at that point, I just dove head into this entire world, which, step one was just realizing that the market in San Francisco Bay Area is just not conducive to passive cash flow, which is what I invest in, right? You want to talk about financial freedom, is so that if my tenants' rents can pay for my mortgage and some, that little and some is what we call cash flow. And if I have enough cash flow passively every single month that can support my lifestyle, then in theory, I don't have to work anymore. Not even in theory, but in actuality, I don't have to work anymore. So that's the idea, right? So, even though it is a slow game, the acquisition process of it, right? So like, for example, if I bought one house, maybe it generates $300 per month for me, and that's great, but you're not going to get rich off of $300 per month. But what if I can buy 10 houses in shorter order? You know what I mean? And just fucking crank through this. So the acquisition of the real estate can be handled very aggressively. I can go buy real fast and then just stack that cash flow to the point where, maybe the first milestone's $5,000 per month. Maybe the second is 10, maybe, but there's no real reason not to stop at that point. You just get it to a point where it's 10, 20,000 per month, whatever it might be. The sky's the limit, if you will. You just keep buying properties, right? And that's the idea. Now we can get into, I don't want to get too deep into real estate on this, but there's a lot of different financial benefits. Our entire country's wealth is built on real estate. And a lot of the politicians, you've probably heard, especially as Biden steps in, a lot of politicians out there have built their wealth on real estate. So from a policy standpoint, they're not very incentivized to change some of the long-lasting rules that have made this a very, very profitable investment vehicle for decades now, right? And we're talking generational wealth. So that is the end game for me. I aggressively save and I aggressively invest. I'm at a point where I want to be able to just like have that, again, have that option not to work very soon. And that's the goal of real estate.
One thing that's super that stands out to me, I think, when you speak, is that you're not saying rich, you're saying wealth, generational wealth. You're using like these words where it wasn't for me until recently when I was like watching like some just like business things and people talking about wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be rich. Anybody can fucking be rich, but you want to be wealthy. And then you want to create generational wealth for your kids and who you're setting up. Who put that idea into your head? Or was it just something you came to on your own?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So I thought about this. So the relationship I have with money and building this wealth, this game, right? I think I started off, okay, so in college, I majored in religion. So one of the books that I barely read it. I read the online notes, honestly, but it was by this guy named
The Cliff Notes.
Yeah, the Cliff Notes, exactly. It's this guy named Max Weber. Excuse me. Max Weber, and it's spelled Weber. He wrote this book called The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. And it was so interesting to me because it was like, without getting too into it, it was like, oh yeah, like this religious belief that, God and salvation is predetermined. Like God predetermines who on earth gets saved. And you don't know when you enter into this world, right? But there are things that kind of point to that direction. Like there's indicators throughout your life that you might actually be one of God's chosen ones. This is like, I can't remember which sect of Christianity this is, but especially early in like the Puritan days, like this is what they thought. So what these guys did, these Christians did, was they're like, okay, well, if there are indicators in my life that say I might be saved, then what I'm going to do is put my life in a situation where all the indicators are pointing to yes, that I am God's favored one. And that manifested in a way where they went out and got rich for the sake of getting rich, for the sake of salvation. That's the spirit of capitalism. Amassing wealth for the sake of amassing wealth, not so I can buy some shit, not so I can go do some shit, because at a certain point, you can do whatever you want and it doesn't really matter anymore. It really becomes the grind in and of itself is the grind, if that makes sense. Just the acquisition of, like, the building of wealth for the sake of building wealth. Now, that was the first time I remember this point in college where I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like, who does that? Like, at that point, we were going out, we're buying shit, we're buying clothes. We're like, money was a vehicle to buy shit and do stuff, right? All of a sudden, there was this concept like, hey, why don't you actually use money as the end goal in and of itself as a kind of an indicator of how well you're doing in life? Now the game is like, okay, how much money can I make, period? Not because I'm trying to accomplish anything, but really to prove myself that I can actually do this. That's a stupid, by the way, real quick, that's a stupid fucking reason to go work hard and make sacrifices and try to amass wealth just so I can.
It sounds selfish.
It's not, it's self-serving kind of, and it's kind of
Self-serving,
it's an empty pursuit, right? Like, how much is enough? $1 million, $10 million, $100 million? Like,
because you're gonna keep upping it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's really no point. So I think about 3 years ago, I came to the realization, I'm like, what the fuck am I even doing this all for? You know, it's like, why do I work so hard? Like, at a certain point, you don't necessarily, if you've saved enough, you don't have to work indefinitely. Even if I'm not financially independent through real estate yet, I don't have to keep going to work. I can just take a couple months, a couple years off if I want to. Like, what am I actually doing this for? And that's where, you know, I had to do like a little bit of introspection at that point and really think about this. Like, what drives you, what motivates you, and what is your end goal? Like, what are you doing all this hard work for? And I think about everybody around me. And that's really the driving factor here is, you know, I have certain views about where the state of the world is heading towards, and the potential environmental, economic, social, political instability that might result here in the next several decades. And my view is, you know, the disparity between the wealthy and the poor is only going to grow. Now, it's kind of shitty, right, to think about all the folks that aren't doing well and how difficult it is for a poor person in America to break out of that cycle of poverty and become rich. It is very difficult, if not impossible. It really is a bummer, right? And so we try to give back in other ways. But having said that, the reality is that we are stuck in this system. This is the game that we are playing in our lives. There's not much that we can do about it. I mean, we can be an agent of change in some ways, but like, really, what are we going to do? Go and replace capitalism? That's probably not going to happen. The next best thing I can do is play within within the rules of this game, and make sure that everybody around me is protected in a certain way. Right. So what I mean by that is making sure that we don't end up on the wrong side of this battle. right? And I want to make sure that my family is taken care of, that they're presented with opportunities. Even if shit hits the fan for a lot of people, I want to make sure we're in such a situation where they don't have to deal with that shit. And this includes not just my family, but all the people that I love around me, which is my friends and beyond, right? I'm selfish in that way. Now, granted, I understand that we have to give back to all the people in other ways, but I'm going to take care of my family and my friends first before we get into, kind of providing for everybody else, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's selfish, but that's what drives me today. And that's why I am in this game, not just to retire at this point, but to build generational wealth so that everybody around me is protected from whatever might happen here in the future.
That's a really good answer. Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't even introduced to that term until honestly, like this past year. I never thought of like generational wealth. I thought about being rich for sure, but then it's like, what good? Like, my life is like what, 3/4 of the way, like a little bit more, like a half. Like you're coming up.
No.
Like, well, yeah, like
Dude, modern medicine, you're gonna live to 150 by the time you're there.
Please, no.
probably not. I'm gonna say no on that one. But at the same time, it's like, what are you gonna leave for like whoever? If I ever had a kid, or even just like homies or something like that, or like, I feel like I agree with like self-serving or like looking out for myself for sure, in terms of like doing the coffee shit and all these other things. But I think for me, I can definitely agree with that on the sense of like making sure the circle's good, or like your homies are good. Being able to be a part of things that get to help see your friends grow or do cool shit with your friends. I think that's just the best part of life in general.
Yeah.
So to be able to provide for your family and your homies, and like, or even just like to make sure everybody's eating or just being cool, I think that's fucking badass.
Yeah, absolutely. And along the way, like ideally, I can supply like a lifestyle for my closest friends and my family, to enjoy the benefits of life. But honestly, this is kind of like offense, but like, building the generational wealth aspect of it is defense. You know what I mean? To make sure that we're defending, we're mitigating risk. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but if you wrap yourself in a bubble full of money, the likelihood is that anything bad that happens, you can pay your way out of it. Right. So again, it's kind of this weird way of thinking about it, especially if folks out there, there are certainly folks out there that aren't doing well, but look, we're gonna seize the opportunity that we've been given and fuck the shit out of it. I'm not gonna feel bad for doing well for myself. If that makes sense, and for my family.
No, you're just very upfront about it.
Yep.
That's all it is, and that's fine. That's you, Beta. You've never been the quiet one. Like, you're the dude when we're in the restaurant. You're talking extra loud. Does it matter? Fuck no, because you're having a good time. And that's what it is. Like,
everybody lives in my world,
I mean,
I'm kidding.
I mean, when Beta's around, it's definitely a vibe. That's what it is. Sometimes you just gotta like sit there and it's like, oh shit, yeah, he just said that. Okay, all right. Like, and that for me to say that, I feel like, because I pop off. I still pop off at the mouth sometimes. Then when you're the only person that's ever made me kind of feel uncomfortable. Like, oh damn, he really did just say that. Like. And I come to a certain point where, like, even for me, bro, some of the shit that I've heard you say sometimes, I'm like, damn. It's just like your don't give a fuck meter is like.
But all with the best of intentions.
All best
right?
of intentions, but
Guys,
you're still cool as fuck.
I'm actually a good person.
No, you're super cool.
I just have a low tolerance for bad service. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Agreed.
Dude, okay. Well, Beta, we've done like an hour 35.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's almost 10 o'clock, and I know you might need to go have some fun. So, thank you for coming on the podcast, bro.
Monday, dude.
What?
Where are you going at this hour?
It's Monday fun day, baby.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
Knock you out on Mondays.
All right.
Buddy.
But I appreciate you coming on, bro. You gave a different type of insight to the show I've never heard. And
good.
I think that's fucking really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love to hear the passion and like motivation behind your story and your hustle, because you're like about the paper. You're about the green. That's what it is. I mean, I guess they're blue now, but like you're about the paper.
What's blue?
The $100 bills.
He's colorblind.
Blue.
He's colorblind. No.
It's called blue cheese now. That's what the Migos rap about.
Okay, man.
Stop playing. They're not all green anymore. I mean, like some of them are green and some of them are blue. You're about to.
That's where you get your facts
I mean, I look at them.
from Migos.
No, because I see them in real life. This fucking guy. Anyways.
Yeah. Man. Listen, at the end of the day, and this is important to me. I want to make sure I convey this, but it's about everybody's come up around me. You know, like this is something that I that is very important to me. So, you know, hopefully it doesn't sound too much like after this podcast, I'm super self-serving, but I want everybody around me to do well, and I'm always willing to offer time and effort towards other people's successes. So I work with a lot of folks. I talk to a lot of folks about their come up as well, and you know, anything I can do to help. You know, so that's a open invite to you to have a conversation as well.
Dude, I'm loving talking to you. I think it's great, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like talking to you is so fun, and I think it's awesome. Like, you're just a wealth of knowledge, and it's like a different perspective, and you can always learn from people who have different perspectives from you. I'm fucking down.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, man. This was incredible.
Yeah. Dude, we turned up. It was tight. Dude,
Yeah.
Ray over here just sitting, barely talking.
Chilling.
Am I gonna listen to this and just cringe afterwards, like hearing myself? I don't know.
Think so at all, dude.
Okay.
I honestly, I think it was great. You talked most of the time. I'm gonna be real honest.
Yeah, sorry.
But no, I loved it because, dude, you honestly educated me to a perspective that I've never. I don't know. I just don't look at it that way. And again, it was about passion. The passion that you have for sales is the passion that I have for everything else that I do in my life. I mean, granted, I definitely work in sales as well to sell my coffee, but I let my product, in my sense, like kind of maybe do the talking.
Uh-huh.
You got to get the gab, bro. You definitely could sell salt to a slug, no problem. Like, yo, sprinkle me, man. You know, that's what that fucking slug would tell me. He's like, oh, you salt? Yeah, so sprinkle me, man. Like, yo, what's poppin'? Like, yeah. You could sell the White House black paint.
So
Straight up.
I just want to know, how many bags of coffee are you gonna sell?
Damn, dude.
In Q2.
In Q2, damn.
Day one, baby.
I don't know. What's my comp plan on it? What's the commission structure,
we'll
bro?
talk about that down the road.
Dude,
we'll see how you're doing near the end.
Listen, you draft
of
up
Q2.
enough incentive for Beta, dude. You will have no more coffee beans. I will
Dude,
sell it all.
That's fucking chill.
I will sell it all.
We need you to work a little before we make any commitment. All right.
You guys sound like Cutco now.
We need to see the numbers.
Yeah, we need to see the commission base first.
Yeah.
We need to see what you can do for us. Kick you back some. It's a thank you for sure. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Don't even worry about it. But I would definitely love to talk to you about more stuff. Just
Yeah,
always
man.
how to grow and just get that paper, get generational wealth. Like, it's bigger than coffee at this point. Like, I'm trying to set it up.
Yeah.
For who? Nobody really. It's kind of just me, myself. But like, yeah, it'd be tight to set up mom or something like that. Get mom like a sick car.
Yeah.
That'd be tight. Yeah. That'd be sick. All right, cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Ray, you need to like just learn how to talk. Like, yo, bro. I mean, don't ever forget. You're stinky. I just want to tell you.
What the fuck, dude? I am tired of your bitch ass.
Stanky leg.
You know, we're on a month-to-month here, nigga.
Wait, guys. Pause. Okay.
You're on a month-to-month here, fool.
Swaggy B signing out.
All right.
Peace. Yee.
Yes, thank you so much to Swaggy B, a.k.a. Beta, and Raul Lopez, even though he didn't say a damn thing on this podcast. You can hear me in the other room, so I'm talking shit. That's right. But anyways, thank you guys. I had an amazing time. It was super awesome and insightful to hear Beta talk about his passions like that. I loved it. And just because he has a different passion and a different hustle than anybody else that I know doesn't make it any different. He still came through, still said what up, spoke his mind. I loved it. Thank you so much, Beta. And thank you to all you people who are listening out there every single week and supporting Caffeine and Green. I appreciate you guys. Head over to caffeineandgreenroasting.com today. Get the Victory Lap coffee. Get that Issa Blend coffee. And also, Caffeine and Burgers pop up this Friday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. See y'all there. Guys, please stay safe. I love y'all. See you next week. Peace.